Hey, GLP-1 plus sides community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better. And my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way, and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper, with results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster, confidence higher, price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
Welcome to another edition of the Plus Sides Podcast. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but I'll let you know, and you'll know soon, because there will be a title by the time this gets published. How are you guys doing?
Welcome.
Can you believe we're in season 2? I can't even believe it. No. Season 2. It's crazy.
I can, but
like I can't.
I mean,
we've been rolling so much, but we've been
so
rolling
hard.
Yeah. I'm kind of a believer though that we don't necessarily need to do our intros as deep now, because if like they're on season 2 with us, they probably know who we are. We'll just make it quick.
Yeah.
But hey, my name's Kim, if you don't know, and this is a podcast that came out of the TikTok community for people that take GLP-1s for various reasons, because there are so many plus sides. That's where it came from. Clever, no? And the Z is a play on plus size. That's right.
That way.
Exactly. The Z. Anyway, we're glad to have you. We are trying to elevate the conversation so that people know more about these medications. We're trying to remove, it's a big job, the stigma around obesity, especially treating it medically. We want more affordable access to these medications and more access in general for everybody. That's what we're fighting for. We don't really know what we're doing, but we know if we're not quiet and we keep talking about it, that things will change, and we're already seeing it happen. I don't know what we're doing. We're just going to keep talking about it, see how it goes. But my name's Kim. I have been on all of them because step therapy and insurance. And I am now on Mounjaro. I've lost 75 pounds. My life has completely changed. I used to suffer with obsessive anxiety that was debilitating, and I was just kind of faking it and not letting people see it as much as possible. And it turned off like a switch when I took these medications, as did the food noise. My life is completely different. I have a completely different lifestyle. And I can't not talk about it. I wake up every day at 43 years old, feeling like excited about my life again. I don't think I've ever been this excited about my life. And that is a miracle. That is miraculous. I don't care. So this is a hallelujah. Hallelujah. GLP-1s. Ooh, evangelism. Because it is. I mean, I'm sorry, but when you're sick forever and then you're not sick anymore, you can't help but talk about it every chance you get. At least that's me. I'm trying to be better though, because like I am noticing that just, this is tangent, but I'm noticing that like it's sort of like politics. Like if I go to every event, like with family and friends, and I'm talking about GLP-1s, it's like people that can't like stop talking about politics, like in situations like that. So I'm kind of learning like when to chill, when to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you get real passionate about something and you just want everybody to know that you got the spirit, and so it's very hard not to. So I'm learning like when we were at our friend's shower, our baby shower, and people were asking me, and I knew they were asking me because they knew, Kat, about the podcast and about Rosie and all the things. And I was just like, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. What have you been up to? So I'm learning about when to evangelize and when to chill out. So yeah. Anyway, hey, that was tangent. That was a cat tangent.
It's a delicate balance.
Yeah. It is. So speaking of cat, everything still hurts Carter.
Still hurts. I feel like I'm on a trend the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. You are. You've been hustling on both ends. Like, really have.
Well, yeah, and what the reason why everything hurts, because I'm pretty sure you all know I'm on Mounjaro. I'm going to say just say it like that because
the
Midwestern
Mounjaro
twang.
Yeah,
I can
that's
say
that
Mounjaro
Midwesterner coming out.
Yeah,
right.
Mounjaro.
Yeah.
So this weekend I went to a arts and fashion gala. And I wanted to wear some sparkly fly sneakers because I'm a woman of age and this is fashion. This is downtown Atlanta. Everybody is on and I saw a lot of weird outfits and ensembles, but both my husband and my girlfriends all vetoed the sneaker idea. So I wore torturous little heels. And then we did not realize that I'd have to stand we had to walk all over and stand everywhere because we were early and things never start on time in Atlanta.
No.
So we had to stand in our pumps, only 3-inch heels. But then this was my choice. I had to stand in line for about 45 minutes to get a glass of wine.
Of course.
And I didn't get the wine. I didn't get the wine.
I mean, does that shock you?
No.
I
didn't get the wine. We had to get ushered in to get into the dining area, and that took a long time as well. And you know what? It was a fantastic event. It was just me wearing high heels. I should have worn sneakers. The reason why I say all this is because the next morning at 7 a.m. was my practice ride to do a 3-hour ride to hit 50 miles on the bike. So about half an hour left of the ride, my feet and my legs just went to tingling. They were numb from standing on pumps all night. I should have gone with my gut and worn my dang sneakers. I'm still tired.
I agree. I feel like sneakers are so fly. And I recognize that I just said fly and that's super old, but I just think they are. Especially
fly.
Right. There was so much like sneaker,
that was so
art.
I love it.
Right. People just, extravagant, just wear whatever. Everything was just, it's fashion. you know?
Yeah.
So I should have worn some sneaks.
I've
My
never been into fashion, and now I'm like super into it. It's super into
and
it now.
let me tell you, this thing right here,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I broke out my
Looks
foot
good.
and
Oh yeah.
I was massaging them all day today, making sure they were clean, of course.
Our listening audience,
Oh,
Kat has
a
Right.
one of
massager,
those
just a
massaging
muscle
gun
massaging
things.
gun.
Yeah, is that what you call it? I mean, it is like it's
I
intense.
arch
Yeah.
of my foot
Yeah.
all day today.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so I'm
God.
still tired. I still
Well,
hurt.
I get
Hard.
it. Well, thank you for being
I
here
did
and
50
being
miles.
fabulous and donating your time to help other people learn. We appreciate it so much.
Hey.
And of course, bring all the fun and the humor and the charisma. Although I guess there's a little bit of space for JT for some charisma, you know.
Of
Like I feel like
course.
we got a good thing. Charisma, JT. Come on, evangelize. How are you? What you doing? Who you at? Wait, what's up? Tell me who you are. Speaking of, before we do that, water check. Water check. Have you seen these? Quick commercial spot. These MJ, if you don't know, listening audiences,
It's
these are our
Mounjaro. It's my
Mounjaros,
Mounjaro bottle.
Stanleys, and we're all doing 10
Love
milligrams.
these.
I bet this will be my maintenance dose. I bet. This is my guess. I'm guessing.
I'm wondering,
10. I don't know.
you know
Maybe.
what, that
Mhm.
that is a good question of the week of like,
Yeah,
what do you
maintenance.
think your maintenance dose will be? Ooh.
I don't know. We need to ask our special guest about that. I would love to know in general what she thinks about this. It's
Hey.
crazy. And she's been doing it. She's been prescribing forever. So I'm super curious.
Yeah, she's been doing a whole lot of like just the best things forever. And
Yeah.
and I just like female fan out like whenever I
Yeah,
talk to
she's
her.
the best.
So
Yeah.
but I am Janine. I'm the Janine.
The
on
E.
the because the world can only take one.
You need
know I
two
would
E.
say that.
The E journey.
THEE. Y'all cannot see me. On all socials. And
Yeah.
my birthday is in 2 days. I'll be 51 years old.
Gosh.
And
you look 41.
And
it pisses me off. Sorry. I love you, but sometimes I just get jealous of how pretty you are. You're like,
oh, thank you. But
You're welcome. You're welcome. I love you, but still.
look, love you, but
Mhm.
I have type 2 diabetes. I also have Sjogren's syndrome, which kind of mirrors lupus. You can Google it. But I am in my glow up and soft girl era. And I'm not doing a whole lot. Look, working out. I love Kat. God knows I do. And I will go to one. You know what? I will do cycling.
You still haven't gone to that class yet.
She will.
You're going to have to go.
There'll be beautiful bean footage from that.
Look, but I'm in my soft girl era. I am in my glow up era. And that's where I am. And I take Mounjaro.
I couldn't even do it. Mounjaro.
I like it.
Mounjaro. So
we're pissing Eli Lilly off all the way around there.
I take it too. And it's changed my life. And I look at my life from last year, this time to now. I just feel like I already have the best gift. People are like, well, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, love, my birthday and Christmas have already came. So you don't even have to worry about it because I have a new lease on life. So,
yeah, totally. So true. Great. Well, we're so happy to have you. For those of us who don't know, before water check, I forgot to mention, if you're interested in these little water bottles, there is a coupon code with podcast 10, and it's in the description. It's in all the things in our link trees and TikTok.
It is.
And I will post it in the show notes of this episode. Podcast 10 gets you $10 off, and a portion of the sale goes to help the podcast, which is good. Yay! Because believe it or not, paid marketing, it costs. And this helps because we're trying to get as loud as possible. So anything you can do to help us do that is very much appreciated. Anyway, so we're going to talk about all the things today, and we're super glad that you're here. And I don't know what I'm going to title it yet again, but we'll figure it out. Let's just see how the magic works out, Let's just see what magic comes from this, because hard conversations, beautiful things can come from those conversations. So we hope you're here to learn and here to love and here to heal. Hallelujah. We're going to do it.
The boom gods.
Yeah.
I'll explain that later. The boom gods.
And we have a community guest. Usually almost on every episode, we're going to have a community guest that comes on to share their story, to share their testimonial, because how can you not? Right. And what their experience is now. And like, sometimes when people ask me like, how should I do this? And I'm like, well, what do you want other people to hear? Because I get a message every episode from someone that goes, that sounds like me. I'm going to go see my doctor. And that is some magic stuff right there. That's some magic stuff.
Indeed.
So yeah. So, and then I started thinking, well, think about the beginning, middle, and end. And then I went, there is no end. It's the beginning, middle, and current state. Right. So from now on, that's what you're going to hear, is people just unburdening and feeling better. And we are here to learn and to heal together. And without further ado,
Ta-da.
Oh, hey, Ashley.
Hi.
Hospital.
I have a normie. I felt
you're a normie.
I know. I felt so out of the loop because I just have a normie. But it's probably just because I'm not on the name brands, right?
Oh, please, no, that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
How are you guys?
Good. We're
We
so
are
glad to have you
fine.
here.
How are
you
you?
feeling? I know it's like kind of crazy,
Really?
but
Surprisingly, really good.
good.
It's been a crazy past couple of months, but it couldn't be better, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard for me, I think, sometimes to emotionally wrap my head around where I currently am, because I was not where I currently am for so long. So the act of getting back to my normal has been really transformative.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. Yeah, it's interesting because people have different experiences. Like, for example, and we'll talk more about it, but like Kat and I, we've always dealt with like weight and things like that. So I don't really have a back to normal. So I don't know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we're headed. I don't know. But then we have people like you and JT, right, who didn't have issues until later in life for various reasons, which they'll share with us. And then it's like, what is it like to be back to normal? So I would love if you could tell us a little bit about that and expand on that for us.
Of course.
And if you see me moving around, it's because I have Mounjaro butt.
I love it. You said Mounjaro.
I did. It's the Mounjaro. I'm working on it though. I'm doing clenches, not during this episode, but I got a pillow. I got a pillow like Janine. So if you see me wiggle in, that's what it is.
You all feel my pain now. Remember,
I do literally feel your pain.
3 months ago. I said that I had it 3 months ago, and everybody laughed at me.
It's here. That's okay. I'm doing the work.
Guess who's not in pain?
No, you got your booty.
My feet are in pain.
All right.
I just have to me personally, I'm worried about like my back. It's so interesting. So I threw out my back a couple years ago working out when I was at closer to my heaviest. And as I've continued to lose weight, my back pain has actually gotten worse. And it's surprising. And I think it's mostly because I have not lost anything from this quadrant. Whereas the rest of my body can't support it, right? And now lately, the last 10 pounds, I have noticed a difference. So my back isn't hurting as bad, but it's weird how things can, even when you're doing better, things can get so much worse.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Like the butt.
Exactly. Like the butt.
Yeah. I can completely relate with the back thing. That will change your life. That's for sure. I gained a solid 30 pounds when I hurt my back. It is awful. I hope you're feeling better. I am. I hope you're better.
I'm working on my core more. I'm working on my core.
It is.
I think that'll help.
Yeah, and butt clenches. This will do.
Anyway, we'll just clench the whole episode.
We like Ashley. We Discord with Ashley. So we're just kind of hanging. But Ashley, one of our things here is that we really want you to tell your story unfiltered and uncut, because we feel like the media really does take these stories and chop them down, and I think remove a lot of the magic and the specialness about these life-changing medications. And so we're not going to interrupt you, and we're just going to let you say what you need to say. So the floor is yours. The space is yours. Please take it. Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs forced me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Size Podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus-sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus-sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again, and the hot flashes are gone, which is really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
"20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise." That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
Awesome. Well, Hi, I'm Ashley, aka Boston. I am 32 years old, and I was diagnosed with PCOS back in 2017. A little bit about my entire life. I was an athlete. I played competitive basketball for over a decade. I did runway modeling for LA Fashion Week. I was definitely a petite size 0-2 girl up until probably once I started living on my own. I gained a little bit more weight. I wasn't so focused on, being so svelte. I actually wanted to be strong. But then in 2016, I decided to get off of birth control because me and my husband were getting married in 2016. I was like, this seems like such a preparatory step to getting married. Yeah. Let's get off birth control. Let's get your body normal again. Well, my body did not get normal. It decided that it was going to gain over 60 pounds in less than 9 months leading up to my wedding. Literally the day before my wedding, my mom had to take my dress to a seamstress to get it let out because it did not fit from my fitting 2 weeks prior.
Oh my goodness.
It was traumatizing. I've kind of taken that moment back though, because I just filmed a video 2 days ago of me trying on my wedding dress for the first time since losing 105 pounds. And It was insane. It didn't even stay on.
God, I haven't even seen it. Is it on TikTok?
It is on TikTok.
Oh, I can't believe I haven't seen it. Stupid algorithm just takes all the good stuff.
I'll
find it. I'll search it.
Ever since the good old banana gate of 2023, the algorithm has not shown me any of my friends. So
no.
I see nobody.
I don't see Jernine and Kat. It's crazy. I have to go to Kat's and Jernine stuff. It's crazy.
So it was funny, Jernine, I was actually thinking about you earlier because I was like, I wonder if Jernine's okay because she hasn't sent her video, but I know she said she was busy the next couple of weeks, so I'm not worried. I was worried, but I also hadn't seen you on TikTok. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to talk to her tonight. So I'll confirm live.
Did you get your video?
Well,
but,
no pressure.
Yep.
You're good.
No.
You're good.
But but
it's so true,
the same thing. I see Kim maybe sometimes. I see Kat sometimes. Ashley, I don't see half as much as I used to.
I hardly ever see Ashley
pop up.
Yeah.
And ever since the Great Banana,
Yeah.
I don't see
like Rachel is literally like a bestie, and you know what I see her TikTok shop because we go to a TikTok shop and that's it. You know, people may not know. So we have a lot of people don't are on TikTok listening to the show now. If you don't know about TikTok, so we all like met there, connect there, canoodled, and we call it the banana because if you say ban on TikTok, I don't know, it's like a catchword. I'm sure they know that banana is one now too, but we call it banana, and they made some significant changes. This is what they say to the community guidelines, and a whole bunch of creators got banana, aka banned, like on one night in July, like over the holiday weekend.
It was holiday
and there was no rhyme or reason why it happened. They were just completely banned. They could not. Everybody had to go and like fight with legal and like put all these tickets in, and we were trying to get through because they hadn't done anything wrong. And a lot of us feel very much censored now on TikTok. And I'm hoping here on the podcast, we're just going to let it all hang out. Because it's bull that we can't, I don't know what it is. And it's not everybody. There are still people out there who can do injection day videos. There are still people out there that can do all these things. But for those of you that don't know, when we talk about the gray banana, that is what we were talking about. And we were talking about censorship and it being awful. And why we don't see each other because the algorithm be broken. So see, Ashley, I told you I was going to interrupt you. It's easy to talk to you.
I'm cool with it. I like the interjection. That's actually how I like to have conversations in real life. So it's cool.
That's good because we talk a lot here.
So got married at my highest weight ever. I was 235 pounds. I have before, if you go on my Instagram, same over here. Same handle. Same handle. You can actually see my wedding day versus yesterday or 2 days ago. And you can see the huge difference. So went to doctors because obviously I was in the sweating for the wedding and I know how to be thin or fit and, things like that. I was doing the same behaviors and they just kept telling me, nope, you're eating too much and you're not working out enough. You're doing all these things. And I'm like, I'm showing you my fitness pal because I am a huge believer in documenting and basically called me a liar. And then in 2017, trigger warning, I had a miscarriage in June or like summer of 2017. And it wasn't until I had that they were able to actually tell me that I had PCOS. So my testosterone was like 3 times higher than it should have been. My ovaries were completely cystic. It looked like bubble wrap in there. And I kind of had 2 choices, whether I, do fertility treatments just to get pregnant and then kind of heal later, or heal and then try and do fertility treatments, down the line. I decided just to do the fertility treatment, get pregnant and deal with it later. So got very lucky, only had to do 1 round, had my son, got to the highest weight I have ever been, 315 pounds the day I delivered. However, will disclaim my son was 10 pounds, 6 ounces. He was a good portion of that.
For sure. All the stuff that surrounded him. So at least 50 to 20 pounds. That was all that baby.
Exactly. And I was very lucky, didn't have, gestational diabetes like they told me I would, didn't have high blood pressure like they told me I would. I was very healthy because I'm not an unhealthy person. And I think that that's the biggest misconception with being obese or overweight is that they think that you're unhealthy. My blood sugar, my blood pressure, my charting, except for my hormones, everything was, of a healthy person. So after I had my son, I saw that Weight Watchers had a breastfeeding program. So I decided to do the Weight Watchers breastfeeding program. It was promoted in a couple of my mom groups.
Fix your face, Kim. Yes, they do. They've been had that.
They do. And so I was able to get
Fix
down.
your face.
Hey, I have feelings about Weight Watchers. Don't worry. But I did it and I got down to like my pre-baby, which was 235, 240 before. And then pandemic happened. My pharmacy was out of my birth control for a week. And in that week that I didn't have my birth control, I gained 14 pounds.
That's crazy.
And it just
always the opposite way, right?
And
You've always been like you usually gain weight.
I know. Wow, and it just kept compounding. And I have tried to get off birth control before. And every single time I try, I will gain 5 to 10 pounds in just a very short period of time. And so I got up to 283 pounds, had my rock bottom moment at SeaWorld, in which I was almost not able to get on a ride. And I was like, I got to fix this. So I went to a clinic and, obviously was hustled phentermine, as a weight loss clinic does.
Yeah.
Knowing now, hindsight's always 20/20, right? You know more now, especially since getting on GLP-1, that was probably the worst thing for my PCOS that I could have done. Yeah. And that clinic told me about GLP-1 medication. They gave me a pamphlet. Didn't really know much about it. Went on Reddit, saw some information. Went on TikTok. There was maybe 3 or 4 creators at that point talking about GLP-1 medications. I really didn't have like a baseline. So I decided, let's do it. What do I have to lose at this point? I had actually scheduled a consultation in November for a gastric surgeon to get gastric sleeve or gastric bypass. And I was like, if I don't see movement between now and November taking this, then I will just proceed with gastric bypass or gastric sleeve. And here we are. I'm 105 pounds down, a year and 14 months later. And I have been off birth control now for 3 weeks and have not gained 1 pound.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel great. Like, I didn't realize, I guess, how much mentally birth control was bogging me down. Like, it was slowing me down. And now that I'm off it, I feel like I'm back in pace. I have definitely more cognition, more energy, everything like that. But I attribute a lot of that to GLP-1 medication. Sure. It treated my PCOS. My testosterone is non-existent, mostly because birth control. GLP-1 probably didn't help it, right? But I'm interested to see what my blood work looks like in about 3 months to see how my testosterone has balanced out. But, as someone who has diabetes that does run in their family, being overweight was just never a healthy option, especially with PCOS. And truly being, my rock bottom was, if I'm not living for my son, who is living for him? Like, I am his mom. I need to be here long-term for him. I need to be the one, to care. And if I'm not caring for me, how can I care for him?
Totally.
And so that's, I feel like the rock bottom revelation was really what jump-started it. I actually joined a gym and started doing small group personal training 3 months before getting on GLP-1 medication to start kind of having a routine, just to show the big difference of before GLP-1 and after GLP-1. I joined that gym in May. I started GLP-1 in August. From May 1st to August 1st, I had lost 6 pounds. And that's basically me, the 1,200 calories a day, the gym, once if not twice, 6 pounds. Now on GLP-1, 6 pounds is like a month doing the exact same thing, but having the freedom to eat intuitively and not feeling like I have to restrict myself from things I enjoy for the sake of calories in, calories out. Because it never was about calories in, calories out. It was always about how my body was processing the calories coming in and distributing on their way out.
Yeah. That's awesome. God, I can't even imagine what that must be like to lose 100 pounds. Like, I know I've lost 75 and that seems like a lot. But I have lost that before. So like anything more than that, I think, I don't know. It's like hard to even conceive of. I don't know. Like, what is that like for you? Like, I mean, I can't even, like, what is the mental piece of that? I'm dying to know, like going, how am I back in this body? Cause like, just like Kat and I talked about, right? Like, we don't have a before state of being thin, like we have a thinner us, but not like, a thin person. I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just not like, we're bigger people, what's that like mentally?
It's, honestly, it's really hard. It's been kind of a hurdle after hurdle of just going to the store, trying on clothes, not having a mental breakdown in the dressing room like how I used to, picking up a smaller size, understanding that when I order something online, I no longer have to order a double XL or an XL. It's kind of, as I approach every single stage of getting to this point, it's been just one emotional, like, comeuppance, I would say. And going on to another. I'm a huge advocate for going to therapy. I have not. Insurance issues, which is a whole other part of this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But I would advocate for it, because while I consider myself maybe a little bit more mentally and emotionally tough, it's not necessarily for everyone, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, last night, me and my husband, we went to University of Florida. We went to go see Steve-O from Jackass, and I got dressed and took some pictures, and I was like, this, I could just grab anything out of my closet.
Yeah.
And know that it would look good.
Yes.
Know that it would look good. Know that it would not having to change outfits 12 times because, this one makes me look fat. This one makes me not feel good about myself. This one's, I can't get this one buttoned today.
Yeah.
Girl. Look, girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
It's just, and the biggest, I think, emotional moment that I've had in the past couple of weeks is I went to Lululemon, and I always felt I did not deserve to shop there because I was big. Why would somebody who weighs what I weigh feel like they should be able to shop at a place where the girls weigh what they weigh? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I was
for sure.
And I walked in there, I grabbed a pair of leggings off the sale rack and and walked out, and I was like, I feel really good about this. Like, this is something I restricted myself from having for so long, that now I have the freedom to get without emotional consequence or feeling unworthy. So I think that's been the biggest. Worthiness has been a consistent trend for me, is feeling like I deserve this, versus, especially when, people on the TikToks and Instagram, they, come into your DMs and they say, well, you should just do this. It's like, I've tried that. It doesn't really work. Medication is meant to medicate, and it needs to be accepted as that. And, nobody is stealing anything from anyone. Everyone is deserving of healthcare. Accessibility needs to be universal, but that's, again, another conversation.
Well, it's in this conversation, so luckily.
It is in this conversation. Accessibility
it's going to be in this one.
And so that's my story, and it's been a ride. I mean, I started posting on TikTok just because there was nobody else talking about it, especially from a PCOS perspective. And it really just started as me talking to myself, documenting how I was feeling, just so that way I knew I could go back. Even if nobody watched it, I knew I could go back and say, okay, you have a year's worth of video content that you showed what you were doing, and then people resonated with that.
Yeah, totally. I think what I heard too is when you were talking about like almost not feeling worthy and restricting yourself from the type of store that you would go in. And I thought to myself, like, diet culture tells us not to just restrict with our food, right? We have to restrict with all these other things. We are not worthy, or we are not capable of being able to handle these other things, and I feel like that just sort of like digs into your psyche, and it is, I don't know about you, but for me this past year, it's been really, really hard to pry that out. It's been really hard.
At the same time though, Kim, I feel like at the same time, I'd always been very proud to wear, because so it's very exciting that I can wear my Cycle Bar clothes. Like when I walk in the boutique to the right, I can fit those clothes now. However, I loved my Torrid activewear. I loved my Lane Bryant activewear. Like I would always say, well, you're lost, because I spent a lot of money on activewear. So middle finger to you, deuces. I still
because
have
of the massive assumption, right? That you're not active if you are large.
Right.
But they put you kind of,
I just feel like you don't
in a box.
Don't.
Yeah, they do.
Like
I don't know. It's very interesting to hear everyone's perspective. So I do understand that, but don't ever feel like you're not worthy to work out.
Totally.
Look, that part, because Ashley and for the both of us, struggled with late in life. or, you know, a later stage, maybe with obesity and other comorbidities. But I don't know. And even for everyone, but especially you, Ashley, do you feel like when you look at pictures from like your previous self, that's the way that I like to say it, like my previous self, it's almost like I feel like that wasn't even me.
And you were beautiful in your wedding picture. I just was being nosy.
But
you were gorgeous before and after. Just let you know.
Thank you.
Yes. Look, face card, honey. It's that face card.
You know, it's
sorry, tough questions.
I do look at pictures specifically like when I was modeling, and I just look at myself and I'm like, well, one, I look at myself too as being this way was so toxic. You know, and the things that I did were definitely not like healthy, sustainable, like the things that I've learned to do. But I don't recognize her anymore.
Really?
I was overweight for I think a little bit too long, like in my mind.
How long was too long? Like, Ashley, how many years do you think?
It was 7 years total. Until 6. Like 6. And I think around year 5 is when you start to basically only see yourself as how you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so only see yourself as how you are. And so I just now it's the pictures of a year ago to now, like they're coming up in my memories because I still really enjoyed taking pictures. Like I always wanted to kind of at least take some pictures, but coming up and seeing memories from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and being like, oh my gosh, I see myself in the mirror and I still see that girl.
Yeah.
So there's definitely like a body dysmorphia aspect of it because again, that worthiness has played mentally. But you've been this way for so long. I don't see myself as any other way now. And so it's now I intentionally take pictures before I leave the house so I can be like, no, you look good, because I still feel self-conscious going into spaces. You know, I still don't necessarily interject in conversation because I don't want to like overwhelm people's presence. It's so interesting, and I know that there's a lot of people who struggle with it, but it's the body dysmorphia factor. I think it's been long term, because I went from this really petite, really skinny, tall girl to a very overweight tall girl, which is very overbearing. Like I'm 5'10", so feeling like being overweight and then also being tall.
Yeah, you feel like a Jolly Green Giant, right?
I really did. Like I felt like, you know, I'll say Fat Albert all the time. Like I just felt like I was so filling up a space. And then now that I'm, you know, smaller again, it's just like people notice it. I mean, like people notice. And that's also, you know, the other thing is that now I have friends who saw me back in high school, college, who knew I was thin. They did not see me for years. And then, you know, now I'm on this weight loss journey and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually got that big. Like that never registered. And I'm like, I mean, like, how do you respond to that? But also, you know, it's still that thing. Like it wasn't until maybe a month or two ago that I stopped reaching for extra, extra larges in the store. I stopped reaching for the biggest size.
Yeah.
I actually started going to the dressing room again because I wasn't scared of what was going to happen there.
That's hard.
And to Kat, like I was so trapped, I feel like in my body dysmorphia from going from skinny to fat. I never allowed myself to go to places like Torrid or Lane Bryant or things like that. If H&M
could have welcomed you to the fold, girl.
H&M didn't fit me. It was one of those things where I didn't want to accept that I needed plus size clothes.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's diet culture. It's such a thing. It's diet culture. It's got us so brainwashed, but yeah,
exactly. Like I just didn't want to accept that I had gotten to this point where I needed to shop somewhere else, or I needed to like, and I did a video, and I think Janine, you resonated with this about shopping at Abercrombie. I worked at Abercrombie. I and this is, I was picked on campus to work at Abercrombie, stand in the front of the store, welcome people to the store,
Sure.
And California, so Mission Viejo. But to go from being that to not even able to be in their size range at that point, because now they've rebranded and they've made everything better. But I also think that working there contributed to my negative body dysmorphia.
Sure. Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So
I bet
a lot of fashion brands did that.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked for a major American designer. I worked corporately directly with this person, and we received, clothing allowances and things like that. Well, it only went up to a certain size. Even though it was a 16, it wasn't like a plus 16. At that time, I was smaller, but I completely understand. Like, I'm taking baby steps, especially when you're maybe in those in-between stages of anyone, being on a weight loss and fat loss journey, because mentally it's almost ingrained that you get the larger size. And even this t-shirt is still a large. I probably could have taken a medium, but in my mind,
you're like,
I still hear, well, and my mom didn't mean to say it, but my mom's my mom, but she said,
she's Scorpio.
Pretty much.
We don't mean what we say.
So when she told me, Janine, you need to go up a size because your clothes are starting not to fit, I'll never forget that. And she didn't mean it in a bad way. She just didn't want me out here look inflicted,
so for sure.
I completely get it. But at the same token, so it's like taking baby steps. So like I go to Target and I'm like, okay, I can get this. Let me try it on. And it's almost like you're in that in-between phase of you're not small, but you're not plus. So where do I fit?
We're mid-size. We're mid-size.
That's what I hear.
Like a beautiful mid-size sedan. Get it?
We're mid-size.
Cadillac.
8, 10, 12. 8, 10, 12. Mid-size girly.
That's me. That's me all day. All day.
And it's interesting too, because I worked at another clothing brand kind of as I was gaining this weight. And so that was also hard because the clothes that I had to wear to work were starting to get tighter and tighter and tighter and not fit. And then I'd be buying more and more and more. And even more interestingly, I have a really hard time investing into clothes. So I used to wear I used to buy like Michael Kors tops, like all this stuff like back in the day, right? I will shop on Shein now because I don't want to invest in clothes for my body. Because I don't, again, that worthiness, like, am I going to be able to maintain this? Am I going to still be here?
Yeah.
I mean, do I want to spend $80 on a top that, I do. But like, I find that I'm spending money on like things that have nothing to do with my body, like shoes, because my foot size has never changed.
Shoes always fit. Yeah.
Perfume, jewelry, like things like that. But like when it comes to my clothes, I still feel like, okay, why am I going to spend $80 on this when who knows what tomorrow holds? Like, I still am having a hard time believing that I'm going to stay and maintain and be this for a long time. And I think that that's going to be like, it would probably take me another year maybe to come around to this fact. I mean, I'm still an Old Navy girly. I don't mind I love shopping at Old Navy, but I still have not been able to bring myself to go upstairs at Nordstrom and look at the clothes.
Yeah.
So
I get that. Wow, that's so interesting. And are you now in maintenance mode? Is that where you kind of are?
No, I'm still technically trying to lose another 14 pounds, but my persistence or my, desire is not as high as it was 20 pounds ago. I'm kind of in this, like, I'm really happy with where I am. If I lose 15 more, great. If I don't, I'm still okay with that. I think maybe losing 5 more would be ideal for me. Well, probably closer to like 8 to get to just 170 and be done. But again, like the journey to get there, I'm not in like a weight loss mode. Like I'm not, the past month, I would say I have not been hitting my protein goal every day. I have not been drinking a lot of water. I have.
I know I've been falling short too. I totally get it.
I have, prioritized other things, going to the gym. I started my own business, so that's been like a whole other thing. But I have just, again, it's allowed me the freedom to be able to step away from the healthy things, the things that I know I should be doing to lose weight, and being okay with just being how I am. But I probably will enter maintenance by Christmas.
Yeah.
I want to get through the holiday season and then go into maintenance.
I get that. It's like, that's the diet culture. I know I'll gain 5 to 10 pounds, like during the holiday, you're like,
you're like,
I know,
maybe take your foot off the gas for a little while, right? We're in Q4.
Candy. Really, Kat?
I think
turkey,
all we got gas.
More turkey, all the drinking, and here comes January.
I think that honestly,
I get it.
I prepared myself every year to gain like 10 or 15 pounds during November and December.
Yeah. I get it. Me too.
And
always.
So
I don't even
I mean,
know.
I gave up. I quit doing New Year's resolutions, and I like you struggled with, I had 2 miscarriages. So again, trigger warning for too late. But I had 2 miscarriages, and the doctor's like, we don't really know. We don't really know. Seems okay. I think you're fine. And then eventually, like on a crazy thing, because my cycle got off, ended up pregnant with my son. Never able to get pregnant again. Every time I talked to the doc, I had all the PCOS symptoms. Every time I talked to them, like, well, it's because of your weight. You store
you whore out.
You whore. You store estrogen in your fat. So because of that, like you just need to lose weight and everything will work out. Nobody ever did any test to look. And I had cysts on my ovaries, because when they were doing the ultrasound, when I was, like the pre ones, they would see them, and they could see them on there, but nobody was like, oh, there's a whole bunch of them or anything like that. But I do have them. And I also have pain like 3 weeks out of a month, horrible pain. And I thought it was normal. And when I asked my doctor about it, that was the reason that he gave me, because he's a doctor. I was like, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't question it. Oh, I guess it's fine. And what would have happened if I had? And I'm trying to, through this, let other people hear that, like we should be, as much as our doctors know, they don't know everything, and they don't know our body better than we do, you know? And I think a certain amount of advocacy is really important. And I'm hoping that comes across to people, because I feel like my life would look very different now. And I probably would have had another child if I had pushed more. And I didn't. They just blew me off because I was fat.
Well, you don't know what you don't know. Like you don't know what you don't know. And if they're not going to be honest with you, then it's hard for you to even advocate for yourself. Like, honestly, I should have known that I needed to be careful. Probably when I got my period late. I was like 13, 14 when I had my first cycle. I would get maybe 1 to 2 periods a year. Yeah. Wow. And sometimes for like a month at a time. And, going to an OB when you're a teenager, you don't think anything of it. You really are just like, oh, it's whatever. Everybody kind of goes through this. And hindsight is that, it should have been documented pretty early on that I was having very irregular cycles, very painful cycles, like buckled over. Even into adulthood, like I think maybe too, like I've gotten used to pain. So I don't probably complain about it as much. Yeah. For sure. But I'm sure that if I were to put my pain into somebody else's body, they'd be like, this is your baseline.
Yeah. Right. I totally relate. Yeah. Is it like, do you feel like it's better, like in terms of the symptoms, PCOS, since you've been on semaglutide?
100%. So I hadn't had a period in a year and a half from before I started semaglutide. And then in December, I got my first period, and I've had a period every single month on the pill pack, because I'm on birth control. I was on birth control still. When those sugar pills came, I was on my cycle, and that had never happened. I mean, since I got on birth control, 15 years ago, right? Never had happened. And so, I noticed a huge difference, and it's crazy. I really wish that obviously we know now that PCOS really doesn't get any type of funding. Nobody wants to admit that PCOS is an issue. But more and more and more women are getting diagnosed with PCOS because I think there's more advocacy and education, and definitely doing the work on TikTok. You know, I've had so many girls on my DMs being like, I'm having the same symptoms that you are. Should I go talk to my doctor about potentially having PCOS? I'm like, yeah. I mean, what do you have to lose? Have them take a blood, do blood work, see where your testosterone is at, have them do an ultrasound, advocate for yourself on these things that I wish I would have that I know now. And honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, Kim, whereas like, had I known earlier, would I have had more children? Probably. But now I'm like kind of traumatized.
I'm totally traumatized.
The whole child process. Like,
and like
everybody's
miscarriages
always like,
are brutal. They're
thank
brutal.
you. Like I went in for a normal appointment. Well, I knew that I was having a miscarriage, but I went in for a checkup to see if like everything had kind of gone. And they were like, nope, you can't leave. We're booking you for emergency surgery because I was starting to get an infection. So again, people are always telling me like, oh, you should always have another, you should give him a sibling. I'm like, but the trauma of potentially having another miscarriage, but also taking fertility medication, tracking your ovulation, doing all of these things that you need to do to get pregnant, like, because it wouldn't just happen, right?
No, it does not just happen.
It's just not, it's not something I am interested in putting myself through just for the satisfaction of my child having a sibling. Like,
look at it this way. You'll be able to help him go to college without loans, maybe, because you only got one.
Okay. Actually, his college,
go on vacations.
His college is paid for by the U.S. government.
Oh yeah,
because my husband was in the military.
Oh, nice.
And honestly, we travel the world. I mean, because we can do so. We go to Disney once a month, and I tell him all the time. I'm like, if you had a sibling, we would have to take a break. We'd have to take a break from Disney if we go. If you had a sibling, we wouldn't be able to go to the Dominican.
Only child here, yay!
Yeah. I get it though. Like I have that thing too. Like, and people who say that to me don't know what I've been through either. Like same with like how you are. It's like, and I don't think we talk about the miscarriage thing enough because it's so traumatic. And we want to just kind of move on, I think, and get through it. But, it's, and they're like, oh, people say, oh, like 50% of pregnancies, they end in miscarriage. And we like know those stats and stuff, but it's like, this was like, mine was very different. Like, especially my second one, it was very rare. Like I went, I went like you to go get my checkup. And I had miscarried weeks ago. And I had been asking the doctor, I had been asking the doctor, I really think I need an ultrasound. Something is up. I know. And they're like, no, you're just traumatized from the first time. No, I wasn't. And they didn't listen to me.
You know your body. You know your body.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a fetal Doppler that I would do every night to make sure that like little Logan was okay.
Terrifying. Yeah. It's horrible.
I mean, I literally hoarded myself in the house. I didn't want to leave. I just sat on the couch. I was like, basically put myself on voluntary bed rest because I was like, I don't want anything bad to happen because I truly don't think I could go through it again.
No, I have said that many, many times is I can't do it again. And then when my husband and I were going to see, because we went every 2 weeks, once I was pregnant with my son, we would go every 2 weeks and we were walking out the door and I knew this was the one. I knew this was as far as I'd ever gotten. And it was for our 9-week. And we were going, 10-week. And we were going. And I looked at him when I was door and I went, this is it for me. I can't do it again. And he goes, okay. If it doesn't work out, okay. And it did work out. And my gut did always tell me that this one was that he was going to work out. And that it was all because my cycle turned off because I went to or totally switched and extended and everything landed like it should. Cause I went to Hawaii and swam with sea turtles. I swear. Maybe not sea turtles, but that I'm telling you, there is. It changed my cycle and it made it all happen. And maybe I should go back to Hawaii. No, it's too late now. I'm old. Just kidding.
Go to Jekyll Island.
Maybe that's right.
The turtles release. You can see the turtles release.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad we talked about this because I don't think we talk about infertility enough because I feel like I don't think we talk about it enough and I think we should. So I'm really glad that we discussed it today.
And especially like, and before we move forward, but like, especially with overweight women. I'm in a PCOS fertility group right now. And granted, my input is hindsight, right? So that's what I contribute. But I mean, there's so many women who are like, my doctor said that they won't help me with fertility treatments because I'm 300 pounds. And, but they're like, my blood work is great. And like, I work out and like, and now like the whole conversation is like, do I get on GLP-1 medication, lose the weight and then get off just to get pregnant? And I feel like, and that's something that the community hasn't talked about because we haven't had a GLP-1 baby, right? Like, so we don't.
Oh no, I've seen some.
I've seen some of them on Facebook.
Only like 3, really? But still, yeah.
Kayla, they're not in Facebook groups like that.
I know.
They're like a side effect of Mounjaro, and it's an ultrasound.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, because I'm glad.
There's a few. Yeah.
I'm taking my childless life. It was a devastating, moment in my life, but
of course
and there was a time I was like, enough. I'm not spending $5,000 every month on this. Nope.
Yeah.
We got too many school loans to pay off. Nope.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't pay my school loans. How am I going to put? Nope. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's go to France.
Hey,
let's get a dog.
There you go. Yeah, she did.
And I think that needs to be part of the conversation too. Like, no, you don't need to have kids.
No.
Like having a childless life is equally as fulfilling.
I'm embracing it.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me
Being
too.
a mom is hard. It's exhausting. It is like, it is not for the weak. It is not for the faint-hearted. Like, it is just not like, and also, I have friends who are still single, living their life, my age. And I'm just like, I can't just leave. Like, I can't just go to France. I have to plan. I have to get passports. I got to get vaccines. I got to
let's go to London, Janine.
Got to pack the house,
And she just goes wherever, whenever she wants. She works for Delta.
See, and I need to get on your Sky Miles, my friends.
Yeah. Right.
Like, hey, and you're right, because there are even some of my coworkers who now tell the younger flight attendants, hey, enjoy, go travel the world when you can just like say on a Thursday night, oh, I think I want to catch the 9:00 to London, and you're gone. And and that's why we're laughing, because literally I think like it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to London, and then I'm going to catch the train over to Paris, and it's just like normal to me, But
that's awesome.
It is awesome, but it was like the charmed life she must lead, and like Kat, she went to Nice, and like here I am in Atlanta, like I'm in the burbs in Atlanta, and they're just like off living this like amazing life. But like our lives are equally amazing in different ways, but you don't have to have a child if you don't want to, for whatever reason. You don't want to, can't, whatever it is. Like I have many friends that struggle with infertility and they didn't have kids, and they're plenty happy with their lives. They have rich, full lives. I don't like as women that we're told that we have to have that. I knew I wanted to have kids. But like, I do wish I had one more, because it's harder when they get older, because every day it's like, I feel a little bit less like a mom. Like I know I am, I'm just transitioning into a new one, but it has been interesting on this journey. And I don't know if you felt this way, Ashley, but like, I used to just like live for my kid. Like every morning I would wake up and be like, what do I have to look forward to today? And it was always him was the answer. And so I got out of bed, and now I get up and I think about myself, not just him. And that has been really cool, because like, as much as I love him and adore him, and there's nothing I love more than being a mother, I really do love it. At the same time, it will eventually come to a halt. He just isn't going to need me as much, and he's not going to want me as much either, because he's going to have a life and adventures. And I want that for him. And I think that I deserve a full life too. And I think I deserve a rich life too. So it's been interesting to get there mentally, because I never could before, and the medicine really does. It's crazy. Like just the whole journey and the unwinding of all the mental stuff, And
the anxiety, like I used to have just crazy anxiety over everything, especially when it came to him. I would, I had the kidnapping fear. I had the this fear. I had the this fear. Again, like I'm like you, like I would wake up in the morning only focused on him.
Yeah.
Because he needed me. And that, it definitely probably has affected, my marriage. You probably ask my husband and he'd probably be like, I was on the wayside, because I think that because I couldn't channel enough positive energy into myself because I really didn't love myself. I shoveled all my love into him.
Yeah, totally. That's so true. It's easier to push it into them.
Into them.
Than just tell it yourself.
Wow.
And I feel like now that I'm finding my way and loving myself, I've become such a better mom because we have adventures. We have, we're doing things that I just felt restricted from before.
Yeah, totally.
We're enjoying memories a lot more. I have more energy to do all the things that I want to do with him, but also he is seeing me pursue things that make me happy.
Totally. It's a great lesson.
I took a huge leap of starting my own business. Like I never thought that would be in the cards for me. Right. But GLP-1 gave me that. And I think it's just giving me freedom, not just like freedom from food, but freedom of like holding myself back because that worthiness, I felt like I didn't deserve it.
No shrinking.
Yeah. No shrinking.
Exactly.
That's what Kat always says. No more shrinking.
You know what Kat says, that Kim talks about this, and Kim really kind of opened my eyes to this, and maybe this is, eventually a segue to our doctor, but you all talk about, and I think I experienced it too a little bit, anxiety. And I think we see that a lot, especially with the quote unquote newbies, and it can just be from anything, but because this is, we're cracking the code to obesity and other comorbidities, we'll just keep it in that space. But why do you think many of us deal with so much anxiety? Especially if you're dealing with, obesity or other comorbidities related to obesity, metabolic disorders. And I've always asked myself that, but of course I've never had the answer but I'm like, I wonder why it's so much anxiety of, well, I'm afraid to start it. Well, I don't know. And it's just like fear. And it's like now, since we're like dealing with different traumas and talking it out, and GLP-1s have helped, and you're not completely on the other side, but you can look back and see from whence you've come. And you see people like that, and it's like, what can we say to lessen the anxiety or like the obsessiveness of i.e. weighing myself every day, and if I gain a pound, oh my gosh. And it's like, do you realize how what that sounds like? And it's not, and it's not a slight, but it's just something that my Virgo mind thinks, and I'm just like, and I wonder just what the correlation could possibly be.
Well,
I think it's a really good segue.
It's a great segue. Because depression and anxiety are always, if I'm not an expert on this, but
you're not.
My psychiatrist.
I thought you were everything hurts, Kat. You're not an expert.
That's hurt. Depression and anxiety kind of live along the same street sometimes. And so and
I mean,
said, a lot of the side of depression is like a lot of the roots or that lives along the same
and trauma.
So.
Totally. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think
I wonder why.
I'm so smart. I agree. And like for me, I've been working through that too, and I can't wait to talk to Dr. Toomer about it. We'll bring her in.
I know.
But like I part of me is like, is it because like, I'm gonna viscerally, I was never satisfied. And because I was never satisfied, I was always scared of what would be. Like, is that, and that did something to my brain because I just didn't know and I just didn't understand. And because once I got to a level of being satisfied, I just sort of had a general feeling like, it's cool. I'm okay. Like I have enough food. I'm okay. Like there was just a certain level of like biology that was affected. And I've just been in a much better state in general, So I don't know, like something like that. Speaking of Dr. Toomer, let's invite her on, eh? Ashley, we would love for you to stay with us. We tend to talk a lot with Dr. Toomer. So if you need to go, you just let us know. Hey, Dr. Toomer, how you doing?
Oh, hi. Can you hear me well enough?
Yes. Okay. Welcome back to the Plus Sides podcast. We're so glad to have you.
I'll start singing George Clinton and singing, "Let's Get Satisfied."
Always pop culture reference from Kat.
I just love George Clinton.
But
anyway.
minute funkadelic.
JT always would pick it right up. But hello, we're so glad to have you.
Thanks.
I feel like we're probably just going to flow in this conversation because that's how you roll. But I would love for people that don't know you, and if you guys haven't seen episode 8 with Dr. Toomer, it's called Foodie or Food Noise. Please check it out. But I'm so glad to have you back. But people that don't know you, can you please tell them who you are and how you help people?
Well, I am Dr. Catherine Toomer, and I'm a family medicine and community health physician. And I actually have founded a couple of different things that are around weight, but now weight health is the core of what I do. And what I do is I just use a biopsychosocial approach to finding out why people gain weight. It's not about weight loss. It's actually because there's always an underlying reason. And weight is simply a symptom of something else. And so what I do is I look for that something else and go after it. And because of that, I have never worked with anyone who hasn't lost weight, because there's always a reason. Always a reason.
Yeah. Like always a root cause.
There's always a root cause. Weight in and of itself is nothing.
Yeah.
It's a number on a scale.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what we're looking for is, why has your body become so efficient at making fat out of what you eat? You know, this is genetic.
That's a short right
genetic.
there.
You're predisposed, but you're predisposed genetically, but you're in an environment. There's something that triggered that genetic code. And so it's our job to find out what that trigger was and then reverse it.
I love it.
And it's hormonal. 9 times out of 10, it's hormonal. Sometimes it's behavioral. Sometimes a kind of combination of the two. You know, hormones affect our behavior, and then our behavior affects our hormones. So it's like a vicious cycle, and you just got to find the right spot to hit that cycle to break it. And so I kind of call it like the golden combination. And it's like this combination that everyone has, and everyone is different, where they just hit that spot. And suddenly it's like your body just clicks and say, okay, I give up. I'm not going to fight you anymore.
Yeah.
And
totally. Yeah. I feel like about every 20 pounds, my body's like,
it resets. It does reset.
Yeah. They're just like,
okay.
But eventually it releases. It's so crazy. Now I know, if people haven't seen episode 8, by the way, go watch it. But Dr. Toomer, you are also a community member. You know, so maybe you could tell us a little bit about your GLP-1 journey.
Well, my GLP-1 journey actually started over 20 years ago. I wasn't on a GLP-1, but it kind of led to where I am now. And I'm from a family, we have a very, very strong connection to diabetes. And so so it didn't take much for my body to get pushed into diabetes. And so stress, med school, residency, 2 babies in 3 years, marriage, and, you know, turned around and I was, you know, over 200 pounds. I'm 5 feet tall and was athletic. So I never really paid much attention to food, didn't pay much attention to anything. Because I was like, I ate whatever I wanted and I kept doing that. But my body responded to stress very adversely. And so I was just getting pushed farther and farther into diabetes, and I ended up on insulin. Insulin in and of itself is toxic. So when you take insulin, it really starts a vicious cycle. It makes your weight go up, your weight goes up, makes your diabetes worse, and it just starts this really nasty cycle. And that's where I was. And so when I had my last daughter, a month after she was born, I went into congestive heart failure, which was misdiagnosed because my symptoms were blamed on my obesity. I knew something was wrong. I was tired. I was more short of breath than I should have been. I was swollen. My ankles were like 3 times their normal size. And actually went to an intensivist because I'm like, okay, if anyone's going to find something, it's going to be someone who job it is to really go in and find detailed things within the body.
What is that, Dr. Toomer? I'm sorry. What is it? Intensivist?
An intensivist. So it's like you have your general physicians, like I'm family medicine, so I'm a primary care physician, and then you have people who are intensivists who really go in, who find the more serious of whatever diseases are present. So they often work in hospitals. They're often out of hospitals. And since I was, in the hospital working in that particular hospital, I knew all the physicians there. I just picked the one that I felt would be the most likely to be able to find what was going on. And he basically said, he just had a baby, you're 200 plus pounds and you're 5 feet. What do you expect? Of course you're tired.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, I was rushed to the hospital with an ejection fraction of 15%. So basically what that means is when my heart would fill up with blood, only 15% of that blood would then go out for the rest of my body.
My gosh.
Yeah. Most women who have the degree of heart failure that I had don't survive it. It's a very high mortality rate. And I knew this. I was scared out of my mind. And then of those who survive, usually half of those need a heart transplant.
Wow.
And then of those who don't need heart transplant, half of those go on and get better. And then others stay on medication for the rest of their lives. And I fall into that group, that category. So I take a lot of medication to keep my heart working like it's supposed to. But at the time I was told I had a 50% chance of living 5 years. That was 22 years ago. I just had my 58th birthday. So, which there was a long time I did not expect that. I didn't. And so so essentially what happened, I knew I needed help losing weight. I asked for help. I asked my doctors. Everyone kept saying, you're too high risk. We're not going to touch you. And so my husband, who's also a physician, he and I just basically were like, let's just go back to the basics. We know the biochemistry, we know the microbiology, let's just go back to the basics and just figure it out on our own. And this was before the days of ketogenic diet. So essentially what we ended up coming up with was a ketogenic diet, except it was modified. I've never been one who thinks it's a good idea to go into ketosis. It's like in medicine, you always avoid it at all costs. So what we ended up doing was creating a high protein, low carbohydrate diet. I could not exercise, so it had to be through food. And so I initially lost 60 pounds. My heart started getting better almost immediately. And then years later, and I was able to get off insulin. So of course that started the cycle the other direction. But then what happened over time, as I got older, my diabetes started creeping in again. And it became harder and harder for me to control it with diet. I was able to exercise a little bit later on, building muscle. I still don't do a lot of cardiovascular exercise, but I love muscle work. And then my heart was functioning normally. And then I was hiking in the North Carolina hills and I got a call from my cardiologist and he said, sit down. And I'm like, what? He goes, I just got your echocardiogram results back and my heart function had was half of what it was. And I didn't feel it. Still don't feel it. In fact, I'm traveling right now to see my cardiologist because he's in another city from where I am. And so that's why I'm doing this from a hotel room. And so he was like, we've got to do something to stop your heart from deteriorating anymore because otherwise you're going to need a transplant. And so he put me on a GLP-1 because we always knew that blood sugar is very toxic. Blood sugar that triggers insulin production in the body is even more toxic. So the best way to protect your organs in a diabetic is to make sure your blood sugars are really well controlled. And even when they're controlled, there's still a lot of underlying pathology that goes on. It's like our body just decides, you know what, I'm going to fight you now. So
pretty much.
Yeah. And so I was put on a GLP-1. I was put on Victoza. way back, the old one.
Yeah. What year was that?
This was in 2012.
Yeah, right when it came out then, yeah.
Yeah, 12, 13. And it came out a little bit before that, but and then my weight dropped a little, and I was fine with that. I was like, okay. I've always felt my strongest when my BMI is around 28, 29. And so that's where I like to sit.
Yeah.
And then but then my weight dropped. Then Ozempic came out. And the only reason I switched to Ozempic was because the drug rep came by and gave me samples. I'm like, let me see what this is, So I tried it. And then, but the thing that happened though, my weight dropped so rapidly that all my doctors, including myself, my husband, all of us thought something was wrong. I had a full cancer workup.
Yeah.
I lost
I've heard that about so many diabetics.
I lost 45 pounds in under 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
Was madness. And I'm sitting here like I couldn't, and I was like, what the heck's happening? I couldn't eat enough to keep my weight up. I was eating everything I could get my hands on. But I was forcing myself to eat, really. I was worried about muscle wasting. But I knew the only reason my weight was dropping was because something was being treated. So I didn't want to stop it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whatever it is that made my weight drop is now being controlled by this medication. Yeah. And so I stayed on it. I hated the weight loss though. And I know that, sounds a bit blasphemous, but for me, I just feel stronger when I have more weight on me. And just how I've always felt. I was always athletic and very muscular, so I was always a little bit larger anyway. Sure. And then when Mounjaro came out, same thing. Rep came around, had some samples. I tried out. Like, what? The thing that I found with Mounjaro though is my mood. When I first started on my weight loss journey, I realized that my depression was keeping me from being able to do anything. My motivation was like in the toilet.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I did was treat my depression. But I found that there's times when, depression, like with most things, it kind of goes up and down and up and down and up and down. Yeah. And so when I started Mounjaro, that all stopped. I had no fluctuation in my mood at all. I mean, it was like, everyone's like, what are you on? It was like, I went from wanting to isolate myself from certain times of the year to, not wanting to be around people. And, some of that's, I'm a Virgo too. Yeah, I know I'm a loner, but at the same time, and so my children would, they would know that I wouldn't get out of bed. There were just days I just wouldn't get out of bed. I was lucky if I showered. I think I did. In fact, I posted on TikTok because one of the things I started on TikTok and was really putting out videos, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And basically what I do when I start feeling myself sinking, I pull myself out of social media. Yeah. And so that's what I did. But I found that as my Mounjaro dose went up, that stopped. It just stopped. Yeah. And so I will stay on it. My coupon has run out. My insurance pays for some of it. I am fortunate that I can afford to pay for it. It pisses me off every single day because I know, there's just no way that people who need this can afford what it costs. Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah. I totally agree.
It's almost like we've created this. COVID really showed the cracks.
Yeah, it did.
The GLP-1s have made that crack a lot wider. It's so obvious. The haves and the have-nots. And it's almost as if we already have a culture in the United States where thinness has currency. And now we're telling people, well, you're newly rich. I'm old rich.
Sure.
And then you have the other saying, well, I have well, I'm not giving it. I don't want you to have it because, then my wealth doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that you say that, because like the number one question I've been getting lately is how does everybody afford this? How is everybody paying for this?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I don't know there's no good answer, right?
There isn't. So one of the things that helps is compound pharmacies, the good ones.
Yep.
If you have a good one. If you don't have a good one, they're dangerous. They're dangerous or ineffective. Hopefully they're just ineffective.
Yeah.
And then, but of course, then that just feeds right into that whole feeling of failure that we've all felt, that feeling of shame that we've all internalized. That feeling.
Look what I've done to myself now. Exactly. I feel like that is such a common thing I hear. And that's exactly how I felt when the food noise went away and I thought I had a stroke.
Yep.
Because it went away. It was so drastic. It was like I could hear a pin drop. It was that quiet. Yeah. And I literally was like, what have I done to myself now?
Yeah. And it takes
desperation to lose weight.
It takes a little while before it becomes your new normal. Yeah. And so, and even then, there's still that nagging voice in your head. This isn't real. This isn't real. It's all going to go away with
Just a little smidge. Yeah.
Totally.
And especially when you've got these militants out there, we don't want you to have it. You're taking it away from diabetics. You're taking it away from and I'm like, I am a diabetic. So now what?
Yeah.
My thing is I have been prescribing these medications for years. Yeah. Nobody gave a damn. When diabetics were losing weight on it, that's how we knew it caused weight loss.
Yeah.
I remember starting using Victoza and thinking, whoa, what the heck? And then, of course, then Saxenda came out. How do you think they knew that? Because losing weight.
I got put on metformin for my PCOS. Nobody had a comment then. Nobody said anything about metformin then, except for the fact that I was extremely ill all the time.
Yeah. And metformin is one of those. There's a trick to it, but
what does metformin do?
It really has the GI side effects of metformin are horrible. Yes. There's a trick to it. You have to take it on a full stomach. And split the dose. No matter what your doctor puts you on, if you have any type of side effects, just take half in breakfast and half with dinner.
See, and I was told to take it on an empty stomach.
Yeah, that's because it gives diarrhea.
So that's why I was dying.
Wow. Part of me wants a little bit of that every now and then when I get backed up on a GLP-1 though.
Full stomach all the time. If I forget and take it on an empty stomach, oh my gosh.
Well, my side effect was throwing up. I could not keep anything down. I mean, again, trigger warning on the word, but like I had borderline bulimia because I could not keep anything down. And I started gaining weight. I gained like 30 pounds throwing up every day.
The beautiful thing about metformin, though, it also drops androgen levels. So it drops your testosterone. So that's why when people when you have someone with PCOS who get put on a GLP-1, it's really important not to take them off of metformin. And the problem is that a lot of doctors are like, well, if I have you on a GLP-1, you don't need your metformin anymore. But they're doing two different things. And so, and they were like, well, we don't want your blood sugars to drop too low. That doesn't happen. One of the reasons that we loved metformin when it first came out, I'm old enough to remember when it first came out. When it first came out was that it does not drop your blood sugars too low. GLP-1s do not drop your blood sugars too low. It's glucose dependent. So if your glucose isn't there, it stops working. Yeah. And again, the only reason it does work is if there's glucose dysregulation. So when people keep saying it's skinny people taking it to get skinnier, that's not even possible. Yeah. If they're doing that, it's a placebo effect, or they're only getting full quicker, because that's the only thing that it will do for anyone. But that's glucagon. Our body makes glucagon anyway. And we already know that's what it does. It slows your gut motility. Yeah. And so that might have people, but I mean, we're talking 3-4 pounds. We're not talking anything major.
Yeah,
so
totally.
If anyone dropping, it's because there's an underlying glucose issue.
Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through the same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Ro, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Ro apart? Ro understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Ro, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Ro is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit ro.co/plussides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's ro.co/plussides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.